on tap, the Diamond District. Is this year the year of the small business, and will the small business rebound? Rebecca talks with Barry Sloane of Newtek Business Services when happy hour continues. Cody and I are going to take a block off. The only business network.
Go to the chat.
Yeah, we'll be in chat, talking, chatting.
Chat about your tie.
So will all these government tax credits and interventions even matter if business owners can't get a loan, can't get a credit line? You know, that lack of access to credit is what we keep on hearing over and over here on Happy Hour. Okay, so joining me today in the Diamond District, Barry Sloane. He's the CEO of Newtek, a non-financial company that's providing small businesses loans. Barry, that crucial money. We have small business owners come on here all the time, and that's what they're saying. They don't have this access to credit. How is your company filling the void?
Well, Newtek Business Services is a non-bank small business lender. We lend money all across the United States to small businesses, and we're able to also provide financial services away from lending to these small business clients.
Okay, so and then where do you get your money then that you're lending out?
Well, we just signed a transaction up with Capital One that's provided my company financing that will enable us to put out $200 to $300 million in small business loans over the next 2 or 3 years.
So you do you go through the Small Business Administration at all?
Yeah, the primary product that we have on the street for small businesses is SBA loans under the 7A program.
Okay, so what do you think of this proposal? This is the latest, you know, that the president has $30 billion. I mean, we won't get into the whole controversy about using TARP funds, but that's a hot button issue. That $30 billion going to the SBA to get the loans out there. Is that a good idea?
Well, the SBA program actually is one of the few government programs that's actually returned money to the U.S. Treasury historically. So from the standpoint of a government-administered program, the SBA 7A lending program has been very successful. And what the administration is trying to do is to increase the cap from a $2 million per borrower loan to $5 million, increase the guarantee from 75% to 90%, and to make loans more accessible to small businesses.
How do you know offhand what the default rate is for SBA loans? I mean, because here we are as taxpayers going to be on the hook for more money at a higher guaranteed rate.
This is one program that has returned money to the U.S. Treasury. So when I say return money, the actual premium that comes in from insuring the loans, even with the government guarantee, doesn't cost taxpayers any money.
Wow. All right. But there is, I imagine some loans do default, though.
Loans do default, but the money that the government takes in for the premium for those loans offsets the actual losses that it takes on the program. It's a very rare government program, actually. One
of our producers, she pointed out to me that when the president was last week talking with some of his constituents, you know, a guy had asked him, the president, why can't you just take the money and loan it to us directly? You know, why do we have to go through banks, even the SBA, that it's just not set up that way?
Well, we definitely don't want the government in every aspect of life. So they're already in the auto industry. They're very involved in the banks. As a non-bank lender looking at the SBA program, the government really doesn't have the ability to underwrite a loan, service a loan, and administer a loan.
Or even evaluate if the person is worthy, like what their business model is. Let's talk about the jobs report coming out tomorrow. What are you hearing from your clients, your customers, the small business owners out there in America with this jobs report coming out? What is the biggest impediment, aside from lack of credit, to them hiring, to us getting these jobs back?
I think the biggest uncertainty are things like health care, what the government's going to do with respect to taxes. If a small business has uncertainty with respect to its cash flow, whether it's going to cost more for health or higher taxes, they're going to hold back on that cash flow because they've got to make their payments and make their bills. So a lot of this uncertainty and rhetoric that's coming out of Washington is actually slowing down business activity.
And people say that all the time, and I'm just like, no, don't wait, because you never know. That could be uncertainty for the next 4 years.
It could be.
So they're not going to make any moves for the next 4 years.
They're going to sit tight until they actually get very good direction with respect to no activity or a lot of activity.
Yeah, which is depressing because we can't wait 4 years to get Americans back to work. Barry Sloane, thank you very much for joining me in the Diamond District. And get those loans moving. Hire more people to process those loans.
We're going to make a lot of loans this year.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, we want to take you now out to the